Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to another episode of the Beta Save with Brighton. Today, it is the last day before the full game comes out. I am back from Sydney as well. I'd like to say thank you for the support over that time. With me uploading videos is scheduled. And if you are enjoying the content, which a lot of you are, considering episode 1 and 2 have over 1,000 views, which is massive, please consider subscribing. It's free to do so, and it helps the channel out. Leave a comment as well. Does get other people to see the video and really help grow the channel. Today we are playing Man United home and away in the Cabaret Cup semi-final. Since we last met, we have had some big games as well in this run of form. Because it's been a few days, I can't actually remember when our last episode that we did. Something tells me it was in and around West Ham, Everton and AGF, I do believe. If that was the last episode, then you haven't really missed too much. This season, in the 4-3-3, which has been absolutely goated, has looked fantastic. Drew to Fulham, beat Visite, Villa we drew, won on the final day in the Conference League as well, which means we qualified second on goal difference, but through to the next knockout game, the round of 16, whatever they're doing now in that competition. We beat Newcastle in a thriller, and then I beat Palace 2-0, and Liverpool 1-0 is the big standout performance there. At home, kept it pretty, as we do, pretty defensively solid in the 4-3-3. We're just really hard to break down this year, which has been great. And then at the back stick in the 91st minute is Joe Geldhart to win a game at home against Liverpool to really keep our top 4 hopes at this stage alive and well and cooking. We had the ball here, found Lamptey, found Alvarez, who just signed a new deal. We rejected 30 million from Benfica for Alvarez just then as well on stream. We are, of course, live. Links are down below to follow us live if you wish. And then, lucky last, we had Sheffield in the quarter final of the Cabaret Cup, but I'll do a Cabaret Cup breakdown in a second. And we just played Chelsea at home, and we had an 85-minute equaliser, even though we were slightly the better side against Chelsea at home as well. So I feel like we're in a really good spot here with the team. Credit to Civet, who has got a big bid from Juve sitting with us, and Andreas always going to finish. In terms of the Cabaret Cup, if we just filter by competitions and go to the Cabaret Cup, we had only 10, 11 normal first-team players available, as because our games were suspended because of qualifying for the Europa Conference League. We didn't really have anyone. Mateus was injured as well, so couldn't play him. So very makeshift team. The actual starting 11 looks pretty good apart from the backup keeper. Kept things short. Whole heap of under 18 guys that were grayed out on the bench. Won it in a shootout. Beat Northampton 3-0. Then got Forest 1-3-1. Then got Sheffield. So we haven't really had anyone of note or crazy. So it's been a pretty easy run to this semi-final. Our first semi-final in the save. And I thought with the new game coming out, this would be a nice way just to say, hey, look, we're doing okay. Maybe we're doing better than what Potter could have. And there we are. In between this game, we do have Norwich in the FA Cup. Hopefully we win there as well. In terms of transfers, though, Casper, I've put in a bid there, and I think he's rejected it. And then we have 28 mil from Juve for Civet and 32 mil from Wolfsburg. And any team in Europe, which Wolfsburg are, and so is Juve, can take Civet away from me for 42.5 mil, 42 mil. It's good money, and I don't want to sell, but at the same stage, he is one of my backup players, is Civet, wherever he's sitting. He's suspended. There we are. He's not someone that I'm particularly interested in selling, because a lot of the boys in this team are just really, really, really good. Mateus Junior, there he is on the bench. Need to bring him back in as well. Mateus is going to come in there for Alvarez. I have been playing Alvarez off the bench a lot more this year as well. In terms of the team, though, we have got Alta, Scully, Tossin, Satale, Estupian, McAllister, Toram Salcido, Mateus, Andreas, and Joe Geldhart for our semi-final. Pulled up tonight. Salisbury's upset with me. I played him. He was happy. He wanted to start more games, which is great. And then I started him against Sheffield and took him off because he was on a 6.2. He then turned around and said, "You're not playing me enough. I want to leave." I'm not particularly happy with that, but if someone comes in and gives me 30 mil, I will take it. I'm going to let him just sit there on the bench. So Talo's in the same boat where he's unhappy with game time at the back, but I'm actually playing him because he's pretty good. And last one is actually Dunk's now started complaining about his game time as a squad player, so we've got to give him some minutes at some stage as well. Kind of want to keep this team together. brings me to my last point, what we're going to do with this save, because the new game is coming out tomorrow. I do have my my first long-term save. I usually do 2 long-term saves every year on FM. My first long-term save, it's going to be with a Vanarama National League side, which I'm not going to mention here, but they are a side that's going to, hopefully rise up the ranks in real life. I'm going to try and do it in FM. If you think you know who it is, give me a comment down below. Secondly, as well, I still will look to probably play this save, stream it maybe once or twice a week and upload some YouTube episodes for bigger games. But I am going to try and play as much of it tonight now that I'm home and we are back from Sydney, and try and get through a bigger stream tonight to try and get as many games played. Now, dressing room, boys will look up for it, into the tunnel, think it's going to be a great match. Yeah, it's nice, there we go, and bang. And hopefully we'll be okay. Love all the the screens that you get now. Obviously United lining up there, and there are us as well. I just think everything in the Cabaret Cup looks pretty minter at the minute. We are at Old Trafford. Would be nice to get to Wembley, and we've got a couple games to get through to try and get to Wembley if we can, as Ericsson is very good over a dead ball and is about to whip one, isn't he? Headed and inside a minute into the semi-final, and inside a minute into the game of this episode, we're 1-0 down. Great. There we go. I'm going to just put it out there. If we get pumped up 4 or 5-0 or something, that will be the end of this episode, because there's no point making it as long as it needs to be. But hopefully that doesn't happen. We have defended really well. And we actually have a very good record against Man United too. So interesting to see that we were 1-0 down to a corner inside a minute, because we haven't really conceded from corners and set pieces too much this year. Anyway, 20 minutes played. United are leading and playing well. We did pump United 5-1 at the end of the season last year, playing 4-3-3 at home. So something to think about. Look, this is the sort of game where, especially at Old Trafford, if we can just keep it tight, we'll take that. But you don't want this game to balloon out. Like, if they score a second, we really need a score in this. Seawold looks to hit. Scully heads. Saucedo should win that. Doesn't. And somehow we've touched it back into their path, and Ericsson wins a header. That somehow went in, I would have been livid with the match engine, which I'm hoping they fix with the full game coming out tomorrow, and I have good confidence they will. Anyway, so far, getting around to halftime, we get home to halftime, 1-0 down. Tell them that it was absolutely deplorable. These boys did play 4 days ago against Chelsea, so doesn't bode well when that happens. Mateus, though, was suspended for that. Few bookings out there, but I kind of need to let them run because we need to be on it. It's another booking to McAllister. Yeah, there is some bookings out there at the minute. All right, we're thinking about changes, but Scully is going to get a throw and look long for it. Saucedo will pick that up and has options of Stupien being one. Instead, he finds it. Mateus hits it, and somehow it's hit the bar and gone over the bar. Wow, that is the moment. That was the moment. Needed to score. Didn't happen. All right. Scully for Lamptey. Andreas, we kind of need to leave out there. Joe, we need to leave out there. Mateus not had a good game. Got to move Mateus out to the other side and actually get Alvarez in there to get rid of suspension. Fred. Donaf. Leave McAllister because he's very creative. And we're definitely going to go to wider and a slightly more direct tempo. And hopefully find one. I'm going to bring Mateus off for Correa in a sec. Which I think I'm going to do now. And look, Dunk's not been happy. Tossin will be suspended if he gets booked. So we're going to... Oh, can't do that. Look, it has to be Correa. Leave it as it is. And then if there's no highlight by the 82nd, we're going to go to attacking. Because I don't particularly want to concede a second here. Yeah, need to go for it now. Attacking. Play. If we can see 2 set pieces, I'm going to be livid. We're out of the Cabaret Cup semi-final. Welcome back, Damien, to Football Manager, huh? There we go. We're having a great year. Barely conceded goals. Let's go concede 2 set pieces in a semi-final against Man United. That's great. Just nothing there. Wow, if we concede a third, it's the end of the episode. McAllister. Correa. Looks for Joe Gerhardt. Never went into the space either. That's so annoying. This is danger. That should have been maybe game over. God, I kind of still have to go for it. Should have maybe left it and just played for 1-0 loss. Play for a set piece. Three 0 down, that's game over. Sorry, text my dad back there for a sec. Well, this was fun, YouTube. This was fun. We get pumped at Old Trafford. There it is. That is annoying. It is what it is. A pumping. It's not fun. I'll come back with the goals of the second game. If somehow we come back, then we do. I don't think I'll give you the full game, and then, yeah, that is just absolutely awful. That is very annoying. Back, YouTube. Did say I was going to come back and show you some goals of the second leg of the Cabaret Cup game, if there was any. There wasn't. After we obviously got beat 3-0, there was no point making this a big song and dance, because it was always going to be hard to, get back at United. I kind of fully rotated as well, to be fair. I got Leeds in a couple of days. I sit 7th in the league. It's probably a biggish game in the league. It is probably too early on from the last league game I gave you to probably give you this as an episode. But maybe we will. Maybe we will. Should be another episode. I want to give you this Liverpool game as a YouTube episode as well, because that's going to be a pretty interesting one there in Feb. They're having a pretty good time of it, and then we got Conference League after that, and I think that marries up more. So what we're going to do is end the episode here. There was no goals. We did have a goal disallowed for offside. It was offside. Alto made a save to his right. Realistically, nothing happened. United just sit there and then just try to hit us on the break with pace, and we just sat there and did nothing. Look, it is what it is. We've got Lamptey and Sullivan away on international duty as well, so I'm okay with everything. We sit okay in the lead. We have one game in hand, which if we win, we can go into the 4 on goal difference if we win by enough. Believe that game in hand is actually against Liverpool as well. So hopefully when we get to meet each other, there is a couple of big games in there, Leeds and Spurs on the horizon, that when we come back, we're still in this fight for the Europa/Champions League. In terms of what we're going to do in terms of this save is we're probably going to look to start the main save as well. So do give a subscription and a like to the channel as well. Does help grow it. The main save will be out by the time you watch this video. So go check that out in another playlist. Also, on top of that too, is what we're going to do with this save. If I finish in the Conference League spot again, then that's going to be the end of the save and we're going to leave it there. But if we finish in the Europa League or Champions League, we're probably going to go one more season and see what happens. Till then, though, I'll see you next time. Thank you very much and goodbye.